Hello, this is me, DJ Sad, and I thought I'd do a video about the IBM T43 laptop. Yeah, I know it's another video, but I've been reading on some forums how there's a chip in here which has no heatsink on it and they can fail. I don't know if it's a front side burst or whatever. It's not a graphics chip because the graphics chip is... This is the ATI chip and it's got a heat spreader on it. That's the CPU under there. This is the chip here, and I've made this little plasticky thing to go on top of the chip because I'm going to put a heatsink on it basically. So there's the chip there and it's not got anything on it at all, and I made that's just like from a different laptop. I've got loads of these bits and pieces lying about, and I've been messing about with trying to get a heatsink on it. So I took one from an RM laptop, and this is a graphics chip heatsink, and it's just aluminium. I filed the top off so it goes into the space, and it does a reasonable job fitting in there, but the problem is the keyboard and underneath has the trackpad, this little thing here, this joystick thing for the, like an alternative mouse cursor thing. The bottom thing there fits into the space here, so this thing, this shim of aluminium doesn't really work, it's too fat. And I took a bit of, what is it, the copper thing from a Dell heatsink, and I basically just broke all the pieces off. And then I got this off of the bottom of it, and it fits, but it's very small and it might move about. I need a heat pad because I ain't got any thermal paste. And then I took another one to pieces, another laptop, which is it was this RM thing, one of the ones I got, which is older than this. I think it's Benias, the older CPU. The one predates this one, 2004 type ones with a ancient chip on it. And the top of the palm rest, underneath there was a big piece of metal, and it's this big. It's like this big piece of aluminium. So thinking, could I, it's very thin, cut a piece out or bend it out and then put it on top of the chip there with a heat pad and see if I can get it to work. So I'm going to try and fashion that somehow, because it's very thin. It's thin enough to go in there underneath the trackpad thing and save this chip, because these can fail. One of the things that can go wrong with this chip can go wrong. So I don't know why they didn't put a heatsink on it. It's really annoying. But if I can just do that, it might mitigate it. I don't know what difference it will make, but it's worth trying. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw around that with a pencil. It's pretty low tech, but I've got a line there. What I'll do is I've got a permanent marker, so I can then it doesn't have to be exacting. I mean, I'm just doing a kind of approximation. This is permanent marker, so it's a bit rubbish, but it doesn't matter. So I'm trying to basically avoid having to work more than two sides, because if there's no point putting it in the middle and then having to work four sides, because that's going to take forever. So I've got a metal screwdriver, a metal ruler somewhere. Anything that extends the life of this laptop is a good thing, because I don't know why they didn't put a bloody heatsink on that thing. I've got one of these. It's got inches on one side and inches on the other. It's like one of these like 2 foot things. I can use that to score a line with the box cutter. This is aluminium, this metal is here, so do it in front of the camera. It's like I could have done this. Oh, there's all these bits of metal on there. I've done with that. I want to work it, but not without getting it. It just breaks off bits, so you can snap bits off like this. easy to work, that is. Right, so I'll make it flat because it's not going to... And then... Sorry, the angle's a bit crap, but I haven't really done have the space half the time. I can just kind of score it, and then it can kind of... Yeah, and it's not great, but... I can file it if it's too big, and it's fairly easy to do that. Right, so I find my other. Got two of these types of things. So what I'm going to do is try and I could try cutting it, but I don't think it's possible to cut it, is it? Let's just test that on there. No, that's a bit hard to do actually. That's a bit hard to do. I want to try and break it along its axis like this. So got two of the mothers there. Oh, hang on a minute. I could file it. Again, I was just going to snap it, but it's like... Let me do another line there, and then we'll do it in like pieces. So this bit could also be a piece I could use if it didn't work out. And there's all these sort of bits underneath that have sort of strengthened it, so bending it might not be doable. It's bending, but that's harder to bend. God. Oh man. I may have to file that actually to avoid bending it too much. Yeah, I'm having to go it this way. Having to go filing it. It's a bit crap, but if I can get it, it should be. If I do a groove in it, then it should. That's like glitter, this stuff does. I'll just tip that in the bin because I don't want that getting inside. I don't think it's conductive. I'm not sure if aluminium is conductive. I don't think it is. Yep, no, this in here. Just creating the same difference. It's not going to have the same cooling as a fit that's with fins on it, but I ain't got the space for that. try and find it all the way through, but it's trying to bend that off. Got to get stuff everywhere. It's not good. Can I bend that off? Oh, nice. Snaps off. Sort of thing. The idea is to bend it so it comes off. I don't want to snap that. I'm going to do this then. Oh, there it is. It's doing it. It's going, it's gone there. Sorry, the camera looks bad. It's gone there, so if I'm going to do something again here. Come on. Come on. God, this is hard work. Did it. Oof. Sorry if I missed that slightly. Right, I got the piece off that I wanted. It's a pain in the ass. Basically, it just snaps it off, so I might have to fold that a bit more, but it's too big to go, and I've got to slightly fold that down on one side, and then I'm good to go. I can't find my original piece of bloody thing now. Ugh. I'm an idiot. I did it the wrong way up, so this side is meaningless. It doesn't actually, when I put it, because the top is ribbed or reinforced, I'd have to sand or file all that off. It's easier just to do it. I could try filing it down, but it's like I'd rather just do it the other way around. It's flatter. I've remarked that again. It was slightly too big. I have to do a bit more work on it, but how they make glitter. Try it again. Oh god, it's gone over. I just want to get it like this. And do. Very nearly. A little bit more. What I need to do is take this side piece. I've marked it there, so I'll take that off and I'll come back. Right, I've taken that side piece off and now it looks like this. That's the bottom, and the top is basically this other side. So put it in. It goes in like that. And the idea is that although it's a little bit loose in there, when I put a thermal pad on it or something like that, it should be good enough that it doesn't move hardly at all. And then the keyboard on top, I mean, I could try making it fit a bit better, but if the thing above it, which is the bottom of the trackpad, the thumbstick thing, is going to be on top of it, then it shouldn't really move out of there. And if it's got the thing on it for the pad, then it shouldn't move about or fall out, hopefully. So I might have to think of some other way of securing that, actually. Yeah, so I'm going to just get this place cleaned up because there's stuff everywhere, and then we'll do the next bit of the video, and hopefully I can test that because I want to run it with that in it and see if it's okay. So what I've done here is I put some, this is like double-sided sticky things you put on cupboards and stuff. It's just to kind of counterbalance that. I don't think it's going to get that hot, but I can take this off if I need to. But basically, if there's only one central bit and it's going to be sitting on top of it like that, then when I put the thermal pad, I've got like not a very good one actually. I've done with it. It's like this, it's like a bundle of this stuff. It looks like blue tack, but it's not. That is all I have. I've got nothing else. It's like a half mangled thermal pad from a laptop. So that goes on there. the plastic then prevents anything happening to. There's a couple of like resistors or whatever on top of this thing. So it goes on there. Put that on top of there like that. Hopefully that's good to go. And then the keyboard will sit on top of that anyway. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to test it now. Right, to put the keyboard in, it fits nicely. I want to see if the thing's actually going to... Oh, Christ, get away. It's kind of like a burn-in test. I'm going to see if this thing actually does work. I'm not bothered putting the trackpad back on because it's... It loads something up. Oh, I need a mouse, don't I? With the mouse. Just installed Max Payne. I haven't run it yet. It's just sitting there. I've just lifted the keyboard up and touched it, and it is warm. That is warm. Quite warm, not really hot, but like very warm. And I'm like, okay, it seems like it's working. That thing is picking up heat through that heat pad. I can't obviously show it, but that is doing its job. That's warm. I haven't even started it yet. Yeah, there it is. It's a little off centre, but it's warm. So there it is. It sits under there like that. Oh, I wasn't recording. I'll do it again. I'll just record it. There's the heatsink there. It's running. It's bloody boiling. It's really hot to the touch, but it's stable. It's very hot. Very, very hot, that is. There's Max Payne. I paused it. I just did the thing there, of course. So everything else is hot, but as you'd expect, the main heatsink there with the ATI with its heat spreader, which is really decent, that seems to be okay. But that chip there normally would have no heatsink on it, so I don't see what harm having heatsink on it can do. And there is a space here, and it is producing a lot of heat. It is very hot. I can hardly keep my finger on it. So if you run it without a heatsink, it's... I've read in forums that this laptop, this model, it can fail. That chip can go. So putting a heatsink on it isn't necessarily going to do any harm. The only thing I could think of would be that trackpad thing there might get cooked. I would remove it, but it involves taking the keyboard off, the keys off, and I don't want to bust these up. And I could lose it, and there would be a hole there, and you could have a vent. But some people say you shouldn't do that, maybe because it's, you know, messing it up. But well, if I don't put the heatsink on it, that chip could fail. So, and these games are quite old, and it's like it's pushing this, so I don't know. But putting it in there, that's, you know, I'm just trying to see if it will make any difference, and it is absolutely boiling, that is. So it does transfer the heat to it, which can't be a bad thing. So I'll have to do an update at some point on a update video, but I'm going to test it, see if it works. It seems like it's working fine. It's just whether that's going to cause a problem for the keyboard, to be honest. But yeah, there it is, the homemade heatsink for the T43 Thinkpad IBM laptop, but doesn't have a heatsink on that chip, which is a bit silly. I just thought I could replace this Windows badge because it's basically worn off. So I managed to take that off one of the laptops that I don't need anymore. It doesn't work properly. So this is an actual badge. It's an actual like foil badge. It's not like a piece of like tape. It's an actual badge. So it could go on Slightly bigger though, isn't it? I'll have another one spare, so it could go there. Right, now I've got to get this off of here. So this is completely. Ow! Bloody hell! Just gone. This has. It's been on here for 15 years now. I can't get my finger on it. It's just gone. There's some. That's quite sticky. I'm gonna leave that on. It's got some paint on it or something. Or what that is, I don't know. That's peeling off also, but it's better than it was, so I'm going to just put that on there. It could be that the foil's coming off on that one also. Fujitsu E-Series Life Book. Let me see this very well. I can't really zoom in because I haven't got the angle, but it's like so. I've got a spare one here if I want to use this one, but it's these are broken, these don't work, none of this works. Where's the thing for that one? There it is. It's very sticky. Come on. Oh, that's very, yeah. Come on. There's no glue on that. I've got some spray on glue I can use. Maybe that's a bit better. It's a bit slightly. Maybe it's better than the other one. I don't know. I've got a Centrino one, but it's like. This is from a machine. I think this is Benias, I think, which is the predecessor to Dothan or Dothan or whatever you call it. Dothan. I don't know what it's named after. A town somewhere. This one seems like it's probably a better fit because it's. That one's a bit lumpy and it's a bit thick. That badge, it's a bit. I've got some spray on glue I can put on it, which. This is like a bit. It's kind of got some issues. This one. It's stuck on really well now. Yeah, it's kind of like an actual badge. That is. It's a little bit bent up. I can maybe straighten that out. Got some of this stuff. It should work with this. There's a bit of stickiness there, but I'll. The computer, well, I'll be a bit stupid. I ain't used this in ages. I make masks and things with this sort of thing. Like the Jane, I've got a bunch of characters. Jane's one, she's got a massive head of hair made out of strips of cloth, and I use loads of glue stuff. It stinks like solvents. It just peels straight off this stuff, but you go tacky. It takes about not even a minute. I feel like it's okay. I'm going to put it on. It's a better fit for the because it's right. I've just cleaned this up with isopropyl. I'm just down there on the floor. It was like the glue, and it was all over the top here, so I managed to get most of it off. So, and there was a little bit on the badge itself. So, although it's a bit bigger than the original badge was, I've lost the bloody thing. The original one, it was a piece of foil, and the image had come off. It doesn't look too bad. It's slightly bigger than the original one, but it is from a laptop, not a desktop. So, it's still valid, I believe. Yeah, there was an AMD one, but you probably can't see it on camera, but there was a faint sort of square, so it must have had an AMD badge on it at some point. But yeah, there's the replaced XP logo, and then that's like, well, would you want to put Microsoft Windows thing on it? But it is authentic of the time, and they did have XP badges on them, and it is XP's gone now, so it's like, you know, I like to preserve it. So the finished Windows XP badge